This involves me, 33 female, and my half-sister, 32 female. We share a father with different mothers. Our dad was married to my mom and expecting me when he got her mom pregnant. My mom found out and kicked him to the curb, and things were always incredibly awkward. My mom chose to stay single. Dad and my half-sister's mom got married. For a long time, my half-sister and I fought like cats and dogs. She was always up my butt about how her mom was so awesome, and I should choose her over my mom. That my mom was the reason we weren't a real family. I resented her for saying that when her mom was the other woman between my parents. I also resented her because my dad expected me to be way more mature than her, despite our barely 1-year age gap. So we weren't great to each other. Over time, the resentment for me shifted from what our dad and her mom did, and more about how she would act like my mom had no right to be in my life. She never really grew out of seeing my mom as someone who shouldn't have been there. We both married young and both struggled to have children. Last year, my mom gave me some money to go after more intensive fertility treatments, and it worked, and I'm expecting a child with my husband. My half-sister has still been unsuccessful, and we got into a fight recently where she said my mom should be giving her money too, since we're sisters, and she's never tried to welcome her into the family. I was enraged hearing that. For years, she has made it seem like my mom should just go away and leave me to be raised by her mom, and then she says mom should have given her money. I told her she was an entitled brat if she thought that, because my mom owed her nothing after the way she has spoken about her for most of her life. I told her to go ask her mommy for money, since she's so great, and leave mine alone. She started to argue, and I told her mom should do it since she's just the best ever, and if she wants a grandchild, this is her chance. She got so upset. Our dad couldn't believe I was so unsupportive of her. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Why in the world would someone pay for their ex's child with someone else to get IVF? Part of me wonders if she feels like my mom owes her for staying in my life instead of handing me off to her mom to raise. What? Your sister sounds nuts. All sorts of entitlement. She sounds obsessed with your mom. All that chatter about my mom is better than your mom might be defensive. Who is she trying to convince, you or her? You're not the a-hole. Tell her to kick sand. She doesn't get to trash your mom all her life and then come running with her hand out when she wants cash. Sister is a major a-hole. Not the a-hole. What the duck is wrong with your dad and your half-sister? I mean, I already know because it's obvious, but it still begs the question to be asked. This home-wrecking, family-breaking, sorry excuse of a father, husband, has the unmitigated gall to accuse you of being unsupportive of your half-sister's blatant entitlement to your mother, his ex's money. And your half-sister has the actual gall to say the most cruel, hateful things about your mother to your face for years. And then gets offended that the woman she's hated all this time refuses to give her, the one who basically hates her even existing, money for IVF. What the hell kind of upside-down, inside-out, warped reality do your half-sister and dad think this is anyway? OP, it's time you cut the both of them out of your life. From your post, it doesn't even sound like your dad has expressed one bit of remorse for destroying the family, for destroying you and your mom, and it doesn't sound like he'll ever be remorseful either. Your half-sister should have been cut off contact-wise right when she started making such cruel remarks about your mom, OP. Her personality, beliefs, and behavior are nothing short of repugnant, appalling, abhorrent, and just plain despicable. Do the right thing for your mom and for yourself, OP, and tell both your half-sister and dad to go straight where they belong after what they've done. I, 24 female, have a friend, 26, who has always been avidly child-free. I've known her for 12 years and she's always hated kids and talked crap about babies. I personally don't mind that she's like this, although it is annoying when she goes on rants about how ugly people's babies are, and I've known her to call toddlers a-holes. I know this sounds unbelievable, trust me. I feel like I'm not in real life. She texted all of our friends last week to say that she's having a very important dinner, and she needs everyone to come. This is 15+ people. In a smaller group chat, she told me and 3 other girls that she is expecting a new arrival, and she wants to announce it at the party. We were all super shocked, but very happy for her. She was very evasive with questions, but I honestly assumed she was feeling weird about being pregnant, admitting she had decided to have a child after all, and I brushed it off. So we all get to this dinner party at a local restaurant. She stands up to make a speech, saying, "As well as I can remember, I'm really excited to announce that we are expecting not one, but 3 new arrivals. Everyone was shook until she handed out the ultrasounds, and they looked nothing like babies. We all looked at her confused when she said Princess, her cat, has been a naughty little girl and is blessing us with 3 little ones. I'm sure you're all super excited to meet the babies, and there will be a naming party when they're here. I think the last part was a joke, but needless to say, most of us were quite pissed she did this. 2 of the women there have been very vocal about having fertility issues. I am also pregnant, and so are 2 other girls there. I feel like this whole thing was set up to belittle the fact that most of the people in the group, ranging from my age to mid-30s, are settling down and having kids. One of the women with fertility issues actually left upset soon after, and the other one just after her. I called a cab after I'd eaten my meal and left early. I immediately blocked her on everything because I'm sick of her being so anti-kid, especially when she was addressing multiple people who are pregnant and struggling to conceive. I sent a message in the smaller group chat saying that what she did was insensitive and disgusting, and she responded saying it was a joke and I should lighten up. And I obviously don't know her very well considering she has been vocal about not wanting to meet my baby. I heard from a friend who stayed that she ended the party with a toast to still hating human spawn. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting because of the baby, or if this was genuinely terrible. Am I the a-hole? She's a mega a-hole for not spaying her cat, on top of everything else. You're not the a-hole. Even if we overlook that part, being so secretive and rubbing it in people's faces is just weird as hell. I might get, oh, well, Kitty got pregnant and I'm child-free, so might as well throw a cute party. I don't get the smirking and the evasiveness, or the joke. Inviting people who have fertility issues and springing this on them seems to be in poor taste. And she ended the party with still hating human spawn. That's just gross at that point. If you want to be child-free, good for you. Want to throw a baby shower for your cat? It's your time and money. Using that as an opportunity to belittle your friend's life choices. What the duck? I think she feels a bit left behind, if that makes sense. Everyone there was my age and older, so a lot of us have kids, are married, have houses and jobs, etc. Not that this makes you any better than someone else, but I know it makes her feel a bit sad. And she doesn't have any of these things. She has expressed a few times in jokes that she's the one who isn't a slave to marriage, etc. But I think it's just to hide insecurity. My sister, Julie, 42, was married to Jeff, 48, for 10 years. They have a daughter, 12 female, that was the result of multiple rounds of fertility treatments and stress. My sister definitely had difficulties of her own, but I always had a sense that the problem was partly Jeff, even though they never acknowledged it, and it was always we. They divorced 4 years ago, in part because Jeff wanted another kid, and Julie was over it because he wasn't pulling his weight with the kid they already had, and she didn't want to do more fertility treatments. Jeff initiated the divorce, but Julie wasn't too broken up about it, and frankly, I wasn't either. I found Jeff to be controlling, narcissistic, unsupportive, even emotionally manipulative partner. He was also having an affair. Julie married this guy Mike, who is a great guy and a fantastic stepdad to their daughter. She got pregnant at 40 while they were engaged. Whoops. And she's now pregnant again at 42. Mike is a stay-at-home parent. And their marriage is a lot healthier, which is part of the reason why Julie was open to more kids. Meanwhile, Jeff and his 28-year-old former affair partner turned wife still don't have any kids. I don't know if they're privately doing their 90th round of IVF or on adoption wait lists or have given up, but he's visibly bitter about 42-year-old Julie having kids, so make of that what you will. Anyone with vague knowledge of history can probably see where this is going. We were at a party for their daughter at my parents' house, and I was talking to Mike's sister. She said something about Jeff's wife not being there and implied they might not last much longer since they always seem to be having problems. I said something like, "Oh, you know how it goes. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived." Unfortunately, Jeff came around the corner and had overheard us. He was pissed and got up in my face about it and called me an a-hole. He clearly understood the reference, but still accused me of threatening his wife and joking about violence against her. He also took it as a jab about his apparent infertility, which, to be fair, it was. My sister de-escalated and Jeff left. after I told her what I'd said, and she said I shouldn't have started crap with him, even if I wasn't trying to be overheard. I told her that Mike's sister's comment was just as bad, and Jeff only got mad at me because I'm a dude he actually knows, and my sister said to just stop being an a-hole because it was literally a below-the-belt remark, and I shouldn't joke about something Jeff took so personally. She blamed me for ruining her daughter's party, and I felt really guilty at that. Unlike my sister, my parents at least thought it was a good joke, but agreed it was my fault and want me to apologize to Jeff to keep the peace. Mike's sister said Mike is mad at her too for starting it and laughing at my joke. I mean, yes, the a-hole, but ducking hilarious. Soft, yes, the a-hole. You should keep the peace for your sister's sake. You don't really know anything about her relationship with Jeff or Jeff's relationship with his current wife. Stay out of it. And making fun of someone's fertility issues is a little uncool. I also feel bad for your poor niece. It's a solid joke, though. Yes, the a-hole, and you know it. Ex-partners coming together for a party like this is hard enough. No need to make it worse. The joke is hilarious, though. I am 36 and pregnant with my second baby. My brother's wife is 40, and she and my brother have been trying to use in vitro fertilization for I think 6 years now. I am a nutritionist professionally, and I use an Instagram where I post recipes and workouts. My brother told me the first time I was pregnant that I shouldn't post things related to pregnancy because it would hurt his wife's feelings. I told him she does not have to follow my Instagram. The problem as I see it is my brother's wife is very unhealthy. She is maybe 100 pounds overweight. She does not exercise and refuses to eat fruits and vegetables, except for peeled cucumbers and potatoes with a lot of butter or fried. She is also vegetarian and does not eat protein from anywhere, except like cheese and milk and scrambled eggs. She says she is allergic to almost all fruits and vegetables, and in all of my career, I have never met someone who is allergic to every nutritious fruit and vegetable. When I try to get her to taste a new fruit or vegetable, or twice I have hid fruit or vegetables in my cooking and told her after that she ate them and is not being allergic, she gets so upset and even cries that I am picking on her. I have even made for her a diet plan that has very minimal food that she does not like, and she will not try. If you are very overweight with a poor diet, it is harder to get pregnant and to then keep the pregnancy. She even has one friend my age and in good physical shape who offered to carry her pregnancy for her, and she said no. She wants to have the experience of pregnancy for herself. 2 days ago, my brother called because his wife was crying that I've posted on Instagram pictures of my toddler hugging my big belly, and she was very upset because they might not have even one baby. I spoke to her. At first, I tried to be kind and very patient, but then she said I was showing off my fertility, and it was like I'm slapping her across the face. I told her she doesn't have to look at my Instagram, and that I have for years offered to help her with her diet and exercise together, and that a big reason she cannot get pregnant is because she mistreats her body and does not care enough to make the changes that would give her a baby. She said I have no heart, and that I am making fun of her pain. I hung up on her because I will not waste my time to be insulted, and have not answered a call from my brother. I do not feel like making an apology for telling the truth, but my husband and mother say it doesn't matter, and I need to be the big person. I think she needs to make the apology. Am I an a-hole? Edit. She showed me her allergy panel. She took it because I told her she needed to do it for her own safety when my brother and her lived with me, because I do all the cooking. She is not allergic to the food she says she is allergic to. The foods I gave her were dishes she ate on accident at a party, with supposable allergens that she did not react to. I did not know she ate them until the next day when my brother told me how much she enjoyed my cheese pasta. That was squash, not cheese, and a cake with apple juice in it. I made these again later and she ate them again with no problems. I have suggested 2 RDNs. She will not see them because she does not think her diet is a problem. She does not have Crohn's or any chronic gastrointestinal ailments. Her own diet leaves her extremely constipated very often because she eats very little fiber and does not drink enough water. I know this because we sometimes have lived together. She has actually broken my toilet. Everyone sucks here. It's bizarre that she thinks you need to tailor your own social media page to suit her, and that you are not allowed to post about your life, as it might upset her. That's just ridiculous. But it also sounds like you are offering unsolicited advice, and that isn't cool either, especially when you hide various fruits and vegetables in your meals you prepare for her after she told you that she was allergic to them, to show her that she is really not. Why on earth would you do that? It is not for you to determine whether or not her allergies are real. If she says she's allergic to something, then that's the end of the story, regardless of whether or not you believe her. You are both overstepping all over the place, and you both need to stay in your own lanes. Everyone sucks here. She's an a-hole for expecting you to cater your social media to her. You're an a-hole for constantly trying to doctor her and give her weight loss plans when she didn't ask you to. You're assuming her infertility is due to her weight, and while that very well may be a part of it, it's likely not the whole story. Live your truth on social media and stop offering unsolicited health advice. If you're going to apologize for constantly minimalizing something as complex as fertility issues and blaming it on her weight. Everyone involved needs to mind their own business, in my opinion. Yes, the a-hole. You may be a nutritionist, but you are not her nutritionist. Stop pushing nutrition plans on her and trying to trick her into eating certain foods. Unless she specifically asks for your help, it is not okay to give her unsolicited advice. You are also not her doctor, so stop assuming you know what foods she may be intolerant to. Surely as a nutritionist, you know that people can be sensitive to certain foods without a full-blown allergic reaction, and that you know how to cure her fertility problems. Post whatever you want on social media, but I'd imagine that her sensitivity has a lot to do with the fact that you have been condescending to her for years. Stop judging her. Definitely stop tampering with her food.